think I could do it better.
Okay, because I didn't stop it.
I'll do all that shit talking later.
Yeah.
Look, man, I took my time with this shit and niggas lied to me. I was just a kid with a gift you couldn't rob from me. Can't take shit for granted, niggas shouldn't be alive. Shawty had to let it go. I'm gonna turn up before I go. On my mama and them on folk. I've been desperate, I've been broke. I've been better, I've been eating. I've been reckless, I've been creeping. I've been drinking for no reason. I've been praying, I've been thinking. Man, I know all this shit ain't for no reason. Man, I know niggas iffy, I can read them. I feel like I ain't got shit to prove, but guess I'm reaching. I feel like you did me like them niggas you had beef with. Used to be my brother, we shared noodles in the gutter. We was piecing up a nickel bag and hitting the stove for suckers. When I'm up, then we all up. But when you up, I'm out here stuck. Want my fade, don't get no fucks. It ain't no hate, it's just respect. Ignored the signs when they was there. Shit, I should expected that. I'ma always have my back, even when it's a wall to that. I don't know what you calling folks out it, cause I ain't calling back. In my mode, I'm falling back. I done brought the Bacardi back. Every time I get a hold of that, I think of you, it bring me back. I took my time with this shit and niggas lied to me. I was just a kid with a gift you couldn't rob from me. Can't take shit for granted, niggas shouldn't be alive. Shawty had to let it go. I'm gonna turn up before I go. On my mama and them on folk. I've been desperate, I've been broke. I've been better, I've been eating. I've been reckless, I've been creeping. I've been drinking for no reason. I've been praying, I've been thinking. Man, I know all this shit ain't for no reason. Man.
You're everything I need in my life. Without you, things will never be right. I love the way you feel in my hands. You and me will always be friends.
Hundreds and fifties, they all wanna kiss me. Stick to my pockets, stay locked and they lick me. Me, I'm too picky, I hate when I spend it. I don't like to bend it, lose it or lend it. Money's my baby, she brings me more bitches. Now Halloween, ain't no treating or tricking. Something is missing, I need more stacks in bundles to buy more blacks. Sonny Black, not Frank Sinatra. Goodfella, De Niro's my favorite mobster. Lobster and shrimp is all on my plate. My lady gets jealous when we out on a date. My paper, my moolah, the guap is the gouda. Niggas keep hating, now I buy me a shooter. I pay off the judge, make bail like what? Walk out the courthouse, throwing money up.
Money, baby. You're everything I need in my life. Money, baby. Without you, things will never be right. Money, baby. I love the way you feel in my hands. Money, baby. You and me will always be
Swagged up, I be so fitted. Well, it took money to get it. That's why I stay on my grind. I'm a breadhead, money stay on my mind. I'm an addict, addicted to staying real fresh. And when I be dressing, I do it the best. Don't settle for less, that's what I suggest. Singing wait till I get my Kanye West. Yeah, and that's what's poppin'. No money, that mean no shopping. Me not shopping don't even sound right. Money keep my style dope like cracking the pipe. That's why I stay on that flight, me and my money unite. Yeah, so don't hate, go to bed, good night. Me and my money gon' always be friends. My baby gon' give me that brand new Benz.
Honey, baby. You're everything I need in my life. Honey, baby. Without you, things will never be right. Honey, baby. I love the way you feel in my hands. Honey, baby. With me, we'll always be friends. People can count on music for Fireside living room, so cold, warm with you. I felt so other, like the amp in my mother's voice, forever in with me. I hear her laugh, dance, whine. I'm in my room, I find this is where I'm started. I'm not scared. The beat is here for you. This is where I'm started. I'm not scared. The beat is here for you. Come here, baby, dance here with me. Open your left hand, put the other on your stomach. Dance your air guitar. Seven's near. Tap a toe, tap a toe. Eyes filled with smiling stars. Remake the magic, make a new memory. Wherever we are. Put your shiny shoes in my attire. Here we go. This is where especialmente sabiendo que tu paraíso está en el corazón y también en todos los cielos cantando contigo. I'm not scared, the beat is here. Así lo está la familia.
We made a hit, mama. Yee! Sons, baby.
We only did it cause we had to. We only did it cause we had to. Can't admit it was a bad move. Took every risk in our cash flow. Kept it solid as a statue. You had me like I had you. We only did it cause we had to. Can't admit it was a bad move. Took every risk in our cash flow. Kept it solid as a statue. Had me like I had you. Ain't worried about no niggas. We all about them bucks now. Stayed down to the come up, set the prayers up, and I'm up now. Mitch the only one that got my back, so I only watch my friend now. Vontae, I swear I miss you, dog. My mind just be unstuck now, yeah. I'm gon' keep you lit, just put your faith in me. Bro, I know you with me, I'm protected in these streets. Forever keep it lit, maintaining that bag is the key. If you was still here, ain't no telling what would be. I'm working, steady at it, but I'm hurting. Feel like God cheated us out a good dude on purpose. We still here for a purpose. We know we got the nerves nervous. They don't want no parts of Uki, my nigga, and that's for certain, yeah. When I lost you, felt like I was the one who got gunned down. The pain's still here, wish I could go numb now. Got me in the trenches from the wrist to the ice with my gun now. I'm on the road from the early morning, project chops to that sundown. We did it cause we had to. Can't admit it was a bad move. Took every risk in our cash flow. Kept it solid as a statue. You had me like I had you. We only did it cause we had to. Can't admit it was a bad move. Took every risk in our cash flow. Kept it solid as a statue. You had me like I had you.
Back against the wall, shit, they put us in that position. It was so hard to ball, but I told coach I was gonna get it. Yeah, they undercover hating, but we don't really give a fuck now. At the top of the world is just us now. Try to climb up and get cut down on me. It is not a bad decision, baby, but I've been thinking about 1,000 ways to get it, baby. We from the same place, that's the bottom. How the fuck you like you? We in the place, cash, and that's the understatement. Yeah, project trapping. We run it up and check the practice. I'm a cheese fanatic. You broke, bitch, you don't get no classes. That's the hood that made me. But no, the streets will never take me. Try to reach when we ballin' and get your hold on amputated. Yeah, so many dumb, but I know that they looking down on us. The easy paint smell like we rollin' with a pound on us. Feed your people and stay on point like a needle. But they so now we fly, we keep shitting on them like a sequel.
We only did it cause we had to. Can't admit it was a bad move.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? This is Anna's Historical Podcast Radio. This is DJ Rowe. We're sitting up here bumping in the beginning. The show will start at 8. So right now, we're going to keep this going. DJ Rowe, Anna's Historical Podcast Radio.
Yo, what up? Yo, we back at it. Drums and Ammo Marketing Kings presents. We just signed a whole bunch of talented, beautiful young people, man. Street Jesus. Yeah. Big shout to Tyranny and Ambush.
This that motivation music, use it, abuse it, blowing shotguns, riding shotgun with an Uzi. See if you misconstrue me, you will lose. No IDs, no wallets, y'all niggas so wide in pocket. Be careful to beat the devil's dogs with snarl. Had to sleep with fishes, no snorkel. Turning them outside that person and nothing but a morsel. See I'm up on rocker like a Tyler. Go ahead, hold that chopper up. Blasting up into the rockets and fish you lousy niggas postures. These niggas change like Jesus rap. I don't know the reason for that. Laughing and cheesing in my face like Monterey Jack. Damn it, there's too many cats coming from your bitch claiming the rap. I can't stand it, but it will take a toll on radar to monitor that. Like why? These niggas tainting the name, tainting the game, sucking ass like butt crack, spitting nothing but a mouthful of crap. When it comes to food for thought, this will only be a snack. Suckers claiming to be MC should be a blasphemy to rap, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
Blasphemy to rap, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
There's so many fucking rappers, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spitter on the microphone,
See, I love this shit so much that I wanna take my time and elevate my mind. Can really understand this grind and never let ask me to sign with no creative rights. I tell her that's fixed this time and they breathe between my lines. And my mama, they have to name me, believe in me to be the greatest of all time. According to Chinese astrology, right, that's my sign. So it's destiny for me to make these double entendres, pay double my time. Move on, never last line, to double my commas. Look, rappers are commodity, and that I understand. It's why I got the plan to be the best that ever was. Goddamn, can you feel that? Can you hear that? That's the sound of my heart. These voices running in my head like the sound of the bars. People
people telling me it's nonsense. That I'm out here speaking conscience, telling me to give up like fossils. I'm making my step on the world, but I go and post the vocals over instrumentals. Up the emotion and mental like it's nothing but a riddle. I just make it simple, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
Blast for me to rap, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
There's so many fucking rappers, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone. Eric microphone. Real spinner. Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
Blast for me to rap, nigga.
Wake up, Eric, wake up. Real spinner on the microphone.
There's so many fucking rappers.
Yeah, Safari Dub, swimming through the fast life. We need to slow it all down. You feel it? Yeah, Safari Dub, about them concrete jungles. Skunk funk, we ready to rumble. We on the rise. Yeah, in due time. Let's go.
Fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain.
The weed is on fire, the blunt is getting hot. This our desire and we don't want it to stop. So we drop 2 more grams cause we wanna get down. You gotta watch what you say with all these cops up in this town. They always taping our stuff, but never knew we found out. Yeah, we riding in your scraper, windows up, full of favors. Get this perk, put the word to find the time to come and save us. Cause I'm feeling like a slave. Worse sex is contagious.
Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain.
Mr. Rasta, I'm not the imposter. I'm the one who's gonna grow you that ganja. Rasta, man, please let me be. Get me away from all these strangers, that's a danger to me. Mr. Rasta, I'm not your imposter. I'm the one who's gonna smoke all that ganja. Rasta, man, please let me be. Get me away from all these strangers, that's a danger to me. Cause it's all around us, there is nothing you can say that's gonna change these minds in these next few days. We're gonna smoke it all up in a pipe or in a blunt. Cause our souls are getting ready and our minds made up. And so we take it to this edge and we chopped it with our hands. Already conquered 2 mountains that was littered with the sand. And I still don't understand why we live with all the strife. Just a daily occurrence, so I try to mind the shiesty. Individuals coming our way. What you think we working free like some motherfucking slaves? Not as Mr. Rasta, man. All we want is handfuls of ganja. Maybe a brew just to set things proper. In the city they were calling us doctors. Ain't nothing can stop us. Sign this petition if you know what you missing. Cuban B with skunk funk, and you know when you listen. Yeah, Jock came to bless, and you know when we smoking for sure.
Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain. Don't be fooled by the illusion, freedom illusion, poisoning up your brain.
You're listening to Anna's Historical Podcast Radio. It's your boy DJ Rowe. You listening to that skunk funk? You just got through listening to Street Jesus. Yeah, and that boy Ambush. Shout out to Ambush and Street Jesus. Let's keep this going. Skunk funk.
Sneaky, sneaky, alligator searching for my doja. Ain't gonna find it 'cause I am a zombie ninja. Sneaky, sneaky, alligator searching for my doja. Mr. Helicopter said, oh, please let me be. I'm just another farmer growing me some trees. And as simple as it sounds, I'm trying to make you see. Providing meditation's not a felony. So many sick people, a lot more troublesome. Why take their medicine for the worth its weight in gold? It's a matter of opinion, is what makes us unique. It's when we divide, we meet our own defeat. Say, sneaky, sneaky, helicopter searching for my doja. Ain't gonna find it 'cause I'm a ganja ninja. Sneaky, sneaky, helicopter searching for my doja. Sneaky, sneaky, helicopter searching for my doja. Ain't gonna find it 'cause I'm a ganja ninja. Sneaky, sneaky, helicopter searching for my doja. Prop 215, legalize that green. We on the front lines. Yeah, skunk ball. We about to do this. We hitting back. We taking back for our rights. You feel it? I feel it. This is a story about our glory. We grew the ganja tree that was 10 high stories of smoke. You see it's piracy and now I'm feeling worried. No, you do not stress 'cause I wasn't in no hurry. I know when I time a test that our remedies are working. I'm feeling like a doctor 'cause my medicine is perfect. No consent, no police, no searching. If you smell the skunks, then you know when I make your purchase. But sneaky helicopter searching for my doja. Ain't gonna find it 'cause I'm a ganja ninja. Sneaky, sneaky helicopter searching for my doja. Sneaky, sneaky helicopter searching for my doja. Ain't gonna find it 'cause I'm a ganja ninja. Sneaky, sneaky helicopter searching for my doja. Standing alone in the hallway, walking very slow through my own hideaway. This bittersweet love that we read. Whoa, whoa. We argue and fight, I can't get to sleep at night. And I said, baby, why you gotta play me with that sweet seduction? Provided to my own soul's destruction, yeah. Why you gotta play me with that sweet seduction? Whoa, whoa. My life didn't come with the instructions. get so drunk by the ocean and we talk about the world. Why you gotta play me with that sweet seduction? That sweet seduction. Who brought it to my own soul's destruction? Woo. Why you gotta play me with that sweet seduction, girl? My life didn't come with instructions. Go!
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now about to witness the elite. So go ahead, light up your cigar, take a taste of that Crown Royal.
It feels nice, place your bet, grab your dice, let's roll. Grab your honey Dutch and stuff it up, let's roll. Sunk low, so cold my pimp stroll. Two-stepping froze like I'm an Eskimo. Back on top of the globe, let the money fold. Put it in that money clip. The grabbers in that purple bag to keep the cigar lit. I'm a grown-ass man, so please dismiss me with that bullshit. We got them sticks stashed below the door panel. It ain't nothing that the mob can't handle. Float on, what goes on, we chasing chicken. Deep fried, the oven baked as long as it's fingerless. Positively in position, please don't put the shade on me. It's Shady Nation, that's the way it's gonna be. Brody Locust got the block in the chokehold. With Uzi backing for sure, we gon' let it roll.
They say I do too much, but this is the way I grew up. Surprised that I made it. They talk damn, but they never knew us. Look what the streets did to us. That's why we get faded. I ran the light on Adeline and 18th by the Deformery Park. Pulled up to Hollistown tonight, my niggas drinking dark. Give me a gallon of Henny and a 2-liter Sprite. Styrofoam cups, a bag of ice, and 2 pair of dice. Saturday night, we in the hood, action camera lights. Yeah, I'm good in my hood, but I still grip the hammer tight. I keep my hammer close, cause niggas do the most. Wanna put me to the test with shit, I'm glad I took some notes. But now look at your folks, they say dude is a rat. I seen the black and white on Rat Facts, how you explain that? I brought the gang back, MOE is the letters. We hot as the sun in the summer, wearing 3 sweaters. Plus a Wilson leather, down to kill for the cheddar. It's DOC with me, no one can do it better. I got a letter from my road dog written in blood, saying please show a player love, but don't show the haters love. They say I do too much, but this is the way I grew up. I'm surprised that I made it. I talk damn, but they never knew us. Look what the streets did to us. That's why we get faded.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? This your boy DJ Rowe. This is Anna's Historical Podcast Radio. Shouts out to Tiara and Age. Shouts out to Street Jesus and Ambush. Skunk Funk, Bobby Roses. Yeah, man, we got down tonight on the turns, man. DJ Rowe, you guys let me do my thing today, so I guess we're about to start. I think Anna's ready. Let's go.
Unmuted. Yeah, we are just. I am sending an invite to our guest for tonight. I wanted to wait till we were getting going. Another one of the super talented people we know. I mean, man, can you believe it?
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Very talented. So yeah, our friend Thug Nasty is going to be coming on in a minute.
Oh boy.
Yeah. His papa isn't feeling so good, so he couldn't come on.
Gotcha.
Yes. So how's it going?
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Got home at a decent time. It took me a minute, but I was like, oh, this is perfect. We're doing this just right.
Yeah, that is good. So, okay, well, I want to wish a congratulations to my sister, Sarah Bergman, and her family. She is a doctor and she's been practicing in Sapan, which is a little island in the Pacific Ocean, practically in Asia. Like my family they live in Seattle, and I was looking at the map because I'd never heard of Sapan when they were going there. And I was saying, like, wow, it would almost be quicker to just go the other way. And so she and her husband and their 2 kids are in Sapan. The kids they were doing Zoom school like everyone else, but they just started school in Sapan, which is a very cool adventure.
So when you're saying starting school, like school, like with the other kids' school?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't it nice? I'm very pleased with them. But the big news is that they have a cat that's been having kittens. Sarah's real allergic to cats, but she loves animals. And so since they're basically like living in the jungle, the cat is like indoor. The house is so open that it doesn't bother her allergies. And this kitten, there's no vets on the island. Yeah, so there wasn't any place to get this kitten fixed, and she's only 6 months old or something. So, and she's part wild. However, there's a photo of my niece and nephew examining her belly. My niece has my sister's stethoscope. I was like, wow, well, the cat has got to be pretty mellow to put up with that. So my sister's been messaging me the news, and the cat had given birth to 4 kittens and doesn't seem to be, this was yesterday, and doesn't seem to be able to get the rest of them out. So my dad just forwarded a text to me that my sister has been home from work at the clinic, but she's been bottle feeding the kittens, and somebody else who is a human obstetrician is going to perform a procedure on the cat to get the rest of the babies out. And interestingly, yesterday, there's a cat that hangs out at my house, and yeah, because Loeb, because this is just such, he knows that this is a place to be for cats, and he was meowing and meowing like he was in pain. So I had the vet come over, and while they were there, because I thought there was something wrong with him, but they fixed him while they were there. And so I was talking with her, and with the vet, and she did, like my sister, she's getting paid a lot of money to go practice medicine in the middle of nowhere. So that's kind of why people do it. And they're also a real adventurous sort of family. And so the vet said that the Army sent a group of vets off to some super remote area in Alaska to fix dogs, some other place where there was no vets. Because I was saying wow, maybe you guys would like Sapan. So yeah, so that's very exciting news. I wish I don't know how long they're going to be there, but I would really like to go visit. It was a big deal when they went there, because they got there and they had to quarantine for a couple days, but it's tropical, and they're looking at the beautiful, beautiful water every day. Jealous. So, okay, let me turn this. Okay, this is cool. I got so many freaking devices going. It's not even funny. I'm tagging people. So yeah, so and then I got somebody, this was crazy. A friend of mine had somebody coming in that was, I know this sounds nuts, but he's like, I want you to meet this person. She's a prophet, and she really wants to meet you. And I said, well, how much does this cost? And he said that they're getting lots of love offerings and all that. So I was like, okay. So I texted the lady saying, this is Anna. heard you wanted to meet me. She called me back. First thing she starts off doing is talking about how she needs to put a place to stay and all of that. So I just said, I can't. John Chard, hey, I just said, I can't help you. And, you know, I fixed it. I took care of, I spent a bunch of money, like relatively taking care of this stray cat. So, you know, that was my good deed for the week. Okay, so let's start on some news. In Egypt, a 3,000-year-old city that was lost in the sands has been hailed as one of the most important archaeological finds since Tutankhamun's tomb. And they just started digging for this in September 2020, and they found an almost intact city, which is really cool. And again, it's just amazing. We have this conversation every time we talk about artifacts in Egypt. Like, how have they not all been dug up? But so that's another really interesting thing. And so hopefully, I mean, the discussion we have here a lot. All right, man, John Chard, you rock. Thank you so much for listening. Is people in countries having ownership over the artifacts in their own countries. So hopefully this will be the case as there's more of a movement for that. In the Church of England has been urged to open up its books on the full range of world artifacts in its possession after promising this week to repatriate 2 Benin bronzes. And that is the artifacts that were looted from Nigeria in 1897 by the British. I mean, the church is shit, man. The church is so fucking rich. They have so much stuff. So the collections there's a small museum that is going to be returning artifacts. And so since they can do it, the idea is that they should be able, the British Museum and all of them should be able to do that too. And so speaking of Great Britain, I was listening to this podcast about the Chagos Islands, and they are still really affected by colonialism. The Chagos Islands, they're an archipelago. Come on, man. Archipelago. This is why I do this show, so that I can like look like a fool trying to pronounce words. Anyway, it's a group of little islands all together, and they were part of Mauritius. And so this country is in the Indian Ocean, and Mauritius got independence from Great Britain in the mid-20th century. And however, Britain managed to keep the Chagos Islands. So basically the Mauritanians just sort of said like, okay, fuck you, Chagosians, you can stay with the Brits. However, Great Britain then kicked everybody off of the islands, and this is the little side note, that everybody just had to leave their homes and go to other parts of the world, and fucking Great Britain killed all the dogs. I mean, Britain is, you think we like dogs? I mean, England is insane for dogs. So if they had only had the resources to publicize that in the 1950s, I'm sure that there would have been an uproar. So the reason this was done was so the United States could use the Chagos Islands for military purposes, because it's a convenient location. Like, oh, I have to pull up my fucking maps again. So people from Chagos Island are still trying to get back to where they are. And the whole point of this particular podcast is that we can think that colonialism, well, not me, because shit, people are still dealing with the wreckages. So there are still fucking colonies in the world, and it is an absolute disgrace. Chagos was a complete, functioning, vibrant society, and the Brits just moved in and moved them all out mid 20th century. So it was an interesting thing to learn about. So not much will be happening. Julie Overton, hey, we're getting people watching tonight. So one of the things we were talking about was in the past couple of weeks was how the problems with political leaders deleting their tweets, because anything they say is supposed, not just tweets, I mean, any social media, it is all supposed to be a matter of public record, and it is all supposed to be saved. But Twitter will not allow the National Archives to make former President Donald Trump's past tweets available on the platform because they banned him. I mean, the company, so it's an interesting issue. I mean, what I find interesting about it is I don't necessarily want Twitter to be making important decisions like this. That's the problem I have with it. I mean, this should be, do you see what I mean? Okay, because they're saying like, okay, well, we banned him, so his stuff can't come back on there. And I don't know, I mean, they could, but I mean, it does need to be publicly available. I mean, people.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, it happened. It's not about whether the tech companies are liberal or conservative. That's not even the point. They are not the ones I want making decisions about things, because they're basically, I mean, they're in there for profit. And not only that, it's just nobody elected them. I mean, elected officials aren't the ones who necessarily make decisions like that either. I mean, that is a matter for people that work with policy. So, but it'll kind of suck because, I mean, yeah, people will be retweeting his stuff, but, they have that right. Would we rather be silenced? So, okay, but this is sort of related. A man has been jailed for 15 days for sending race hate messages to a Belgian TV host. She's a Black woman who was a weather reporter on TV, and she was being blasted by racist abuse. So the guy has been jailed. They're saying that one of the problems is whether screenshots are admissible, because when people get in trouble for this stuff, they can just take it down. But she kept the screenshots.
Yeah.
So keep the screenshots. But I mean, that was really interesting because people were complaining like, well, we don't have free speech like they do in the US. It's like, well, yeah. But I mean, I think that especially in this, and I mean, I'm very, very big on free speech, but some of those laws, that was pre-social media. And I think that we should look at speech I mean, speech has the power to, I mean, you know, as they did with Trump, to inflict damage and trauma and abuse. And, you know, because they did not do anything to this lady physically, they still assaulted her.
Right.
Yeah. So I think,
Exactly.
yeah. I think it's a good, I think it's a good move. Like in a way, like, okay, well, speech should be protected, but people should be protected. Like, yeah, you have a right to say what you want, but people have a right not to be attacked by racist language. And it is an attack. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see what comes of that, but I hope that more does, because our laws need to catch up to technology. That's kind of the issue that's one of the issues with gun control. I mean, the Second Amendment, when the Second Amendment was created, people had muskets. You know, that's like they can only shoot one bullet at a time. You know, you put a bullet in and you shoot, and then you like need to put another one in. And so they did not account for teenagers being able to access military weapons. So, but I mean, it's an interesting topic. So what's up, Julie? Do you want to come on the show? I know John Chard is not, not even asking. I appreciate you so much. And okay, so we're following Alexei Navalny, the Russian opposition leader, who's basically in a penal colony and is on a hunger strike to get medical treatment. And I don't know, man, I think he's gonna die. I mean, the guy has been, I mean, he survived a poisoning, and so he's already ill and he's on a hunger strike. So I think he doesn't care, or I mean, you know, or I guess he feels like, I mean, of course he cares, like he's willing to die for what he's doing, basically. Because you just hope that, I mean, sometimes when somebody dies, that's what keeps a social movement going. But I don't know, man, that'll just be really sad. He has a family, and, you know, but you think like, I mean, sometimes assassinate, you know, I mean, this is hopefully a movement that will keep going. So Joe Biden has called on Vladimir Putin to demand he de-escalate tensions with Ukraine. Russia is building up military by Ukraine. And so I don't know. I mean, it was partially just interesting in the news right now because with Hunter Biden's friends over there. But, you know, I mean, Putin's trying to see what he can get away with Biden, basically. And Biden's not going to take shit from him. So we'll see okay. So speaking of Hunter Biden, oh my God, the Daily Mail has different standards of what they can publish than the US. And so the Daily Mail was covering Hunter Biden's memoir that just came out and plastered fucking photos. I was like, oh my God, man, this is like porn. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm all for porn, but I don't want to, I mean, you know, I don't want to watch Hunter Biden. I don't want to look at him. So it was so fucking explicit, man. I mean, like right in the Daily Mail, they were putting Hunter Biden himself with like 2 prostitutes. And so, I mean, this guy was a fucking mess. He did so many drugs and was, I mean, it's remarkable that I think that more attention wasn't paid to it. However, as he pointed out that, okay, Trump's kids have only ever worked for someone, for businesses named Trump. And then Hunter like admits that, like, yeah, he has certainly benefited from having the last name of Biden, but he has actually held real jobs. So, you know, I mean, I feel bad for his kids. I mean, because he's like blowing the lid off of, because he was the one that he split up with his wife after his brother, Beau Biden, the good kid, died, and got together with his brother's widow. And that didn't last very long. But yeah, so he wrote about that. He had a kid with a stripper that he didn't acknowledge, and had to do a paternity test. And then he met a woman like a year ago, and they got married a week after they met. And he claims that she's cured him of his addiction. I'm like, no, dude, that is not how addiction works at all. Okay, so you know, he has 3 kids that are in their 20s, and then his brother Beau, I mean, has 2 kids. I mean, all these young people are in their 20s. And I mean, you know, I mean, Hunter Biden's doing this because he needs the money, but you know, I mean, I just feel really bad for them having their family's private business like this splashed all over the press. And so, you know, it's all about how, you know, I mean, his dad, you know, hotel rooms getting raided, and, you know, I mean, your typical X-rated stuff, like your typical degenerate drug all-American story, except he happens to be the son of the president. So, man, Hunter Biden, you should chill. Okay, you should all chill. And I mean, his children, I mean, Biden's grandchildren, I mean, they're under, you know, you're just under so much pressure as the child of a public figure. Everybody's watching you and waiting for you to fuck up. So yeah, so I really think that parents should refrain from plastering the business all over the place. And I, you know, I mean, I read the articles about it, but you know, I'm not going to read the fucking book. I'm not that interested. I was just watching an interview with John Boehner, who was the speaker of the House when Obama was president. And so he got a lot of criticism from people. And so that was kind of it. That was kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he talked about stuff that did get passed back in that era, and said again that what many people say about Ronald Reagan is if Reagan was alive today, he would be a Democrat. He wasn't even that conservative. So I might read his book because it's interesting to see things from a different side. And he He bashes, I mean, he bashes Ted Cruz a lot. It's so funny. Like, how does that guy get, I mean, everybody hates him. It's so funny. I mean, you know, he'd be crazy trying to run for president again. I mean, they like him in Texas and nowhere else. So okay, so this is kind of interesting. Okay, so this is back to, I'm trying to think I'm reading Polly Murray's memoir, which is, I like her. She's a lot, infinitely more of a quality person than either of them. So this is a story I was reading about refugees, and this was a group of men that were caught on a boat heading to England and were accused of being terrorists, but they were actually refugees. They'd left from, they'd stowed away on a boat from Nigeria, and what they did was hang ropes from the side of the boat and kind of like, I guess, you know, there's like parts of a boat that you can sort of like a crevice or something that you can get into. And that's what they were doing, like for days. And they took turns keeping a lookout and shared all of their food. So that's kind of interesting. I think that's got to be the culture, because you think there's a whole lot of people that would have just, you know, pushed the other guys off and kept all the food. But then they were discovered and were just sort of kept in a room, and the crew was looking out for them, but then they got caught. So they were accused of being hijackers when they were actually refugees. And so they were like incarcerated or something, but they are now able to apply for asylum because it got figured out. And they had some really interesting quotes. And one of them said, "My childhood had been good. Both of my parents were farmers, and I went to school and always had enough to eat. But they were both killed by Boko Haram. That is the Muslim extremist group in Nigeria that want to impose Sharia law on everyone. And I ended up on the street in Lagos. I agreed to the man's offer to put me on a ship because I felt I had nothing left to lose." And another person said, if they take me back to Nigeria, my life will be in critical danger. I will lose my life. I am a strong Christian. On my difficult journey to the UK, I kept saying to myself that I had to stay positive and pass through a lot of stress to survive. For now, all that matters is I am alive. Because I just wonder with people in that situation, like, how do you do it? I mean, what makes you, how is like, okay, well, what in the life you're living is so terrible that you're willing to take that huge risk in order to get someplace else? So, I mean, it was two different people, but I think with this one person, his reasons seemed to be that he had nothing to lose. And with the other person, faith, seriously. And okay, 34 migrants just drowned escaping Yemen. Yemen still has no provisions vaccination for COVID. They are still facing famine that is an 8-year civil war. And I was just reading an article by somebody that's been covering it for a long time, just saying that it's not going to be ending soon. Yeah. So but basically, the United States is like having, the numbers are having like, well, it was something like 19,000 unaccompanied children cross the border in a month. So, when we look at, I follow the coverage of people. It's practically this, people are going to if you're going to get on a boat hanging on to ropes, or if you're going to walk from Honduras to the United States, things have got to be pretty fucking bad. Meanwhile,
I had a documentary years ago, and I forgot the name of the documentary, and it showed a kid, and I think he was coming from, I don't know if it was Honduras or where's the other one? What's the other place? I forgot the name. It was another place, but further down from Mexico, and this kid had to come from there just to get to the border of Texas, to get into Texas. And their situation is pretty hard over there.
Yeah.
I hate to say it in a bad way, but it's kind of like one of situations where, hey, the most they could do is just deport me back,
Well, yeah.
So yeah. I can kind of see the logic in a sense of saying, well, hey, I might as well just go for it, because if I get there, I can make it.
Yeah.
And, the worst that'll come back is this. I'll just have to come back and be taken back.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's people that think that, the Biden administration is claiming that it's not any more than before, but that's not really true. People, but and then people get fucking lied to by traffickers and told that, I don't know. What's really stupid is the latest, Biden put Kamala in charge of figuring out how to solve the refugee crisis, and the Republican talking point is that she hasn't been to the border. And it's okay, she has all of the information, it looks good. It's not like it's not like the officials are supposed to actually go to every place where they're making decisions. They have all the information. It's fucking stupid.
Well, right now, anything they do right now, everybody, you know how that is. So ever since Trump lost, it's been every day they always try to come up with something that Biden and Kamala aren't doing right. It's just crazy. I'm like, they haven't even had enough time yet to do anything, and they're already, they done raised all the prices, they done did this, and I'm like, oh gosh.
They're smart though, but think about how many days go on where they're not in the news. They're real smart.
You're right. I give them that. Yep. Trump was every hour at the hour.
Yep. Yeah, man. That's what it's like to have leaders that are busy doing their jobs. Yeah. You want to take a break?
Sure can. Let's do it.
Okay. Hey,
this is Anna's Historical Podcast Radio.
We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thank you so much to Julie and John for listening, and we'll be back shortly.
Real shit, my nigga. That real shit, nigga. Good as fuck, nigga. Hey, hit this shit, nigga.
My uncle got locked in 97, came home in 2011. Most of my loved ones is ex-felons. My nigga split up on me, bro, we was getting high. He said he slipped, he may have to sit down and do some time. But that's the loved one, so I told him if you need anything, just holler. And I'ma hold you down, you'll see it's gonna be alright. That's just a solid, I'm following the rules to the game. Plus if it was me, I know my nigga would do the same. Still bumping with a few cats from my block that might need gunshots. Cause real niggas don't call the cops. I still adhere to the rules which I was raised by. Getting money, never switch up and stay fly. Not just your dress code, nigga, your mind state. Never fictional what I spit, plus I rhyme great. Don't fuck with fairy tales that niggas make up. Roll top shelf shit, don't twist, don't shake up, nigga. Yeah. I don't expect no sucker niggas to feel less. No. Why? Cause only real niggas gon' feel some real shit. Yeah. I don't expect no sucker niggas to feel less. No. Why? Cause only real niggas gon' feel some real shit.
Imagine the unimaginable. It's the incredible, unstoppable. Brody Locust back up in your stereo. Whoa, hot damn, back up on my bullshit. Master of disaster is the pastor in your bullpen. Talking this shit, I spit a loogie in your Wi-Fi. Crumbling his birthday cake. Enemies is high times. I've been seasoned, might as well call me Zatarans. I was in them project buildings where they used them battle rams. Embraced by soldiers who done ran them numbers through fingertips. With flip phones and triple boosters and unruliness. Stayed away from sucker shit. Stayed away from dirty rats. Sat on that couch, got off an ounce of some of that soft fat. By the time I'm 22, shit I had a lot to lose. Big brother did a bid and when he got out, he said we gonna get rich. Don't count me out. My heart is colder than a cooler. Thank God for the game that I learned from my big bruh, Judah.
Yeah. I don't expect no sucker niggas to feel less. No. Why? Cause only real niggas gon' feel some real
I'm Mr. Lonely, don't got many homies, too many phonies. I do my dirt all by my lonely. I won't tell on me. I had to find out the hard way, nobody told me. These niggas ain't solid like rocks, they're some jabronis. I'm an OG and your mama my tenderoni. Your sister wanna hop on this bus, she too young for me. Told her when she turned 21, I'll let her blow me. Cause that's the best way that a woman could get to know me. I'm the real my nigga, deal my nigga. Born in Vallejo from the Ville, my nigga. Tell me face to face how you feel, my nigga. Are we cool? Is we funky? What's the deal, my nigga? For real, my nigga. On the real, my nigga. I'd rather shoot the fake than shoot the kill, my nigga. It's only out of love that I grill, my nigga. Lord, give me strength to try to heal, my nigga.
Who the fuck can you trust? Bammers with hammers wanna leave a nigga stuck in the dust. That's why I buck and I bust if I have to. Or got it, then I do so. Your so-called homies will leave you stranded like Robinson Crusoe. With nobody to turn to. Deceive and spill your blood by the leaders with the heaters and burn you. All them niggas that's your bros ain't your bros either. And you can't trust these motherfucking hoes either. I even feel alone when I attend a dinner party. I'd rather talk to myself than talk to anybody. Truth is disguised under lies and deceit. I'm from DC, so you know I'm wise to the streets. When you get knocked down, you gotta rise to your feet. Bitches open up the thighs like the prizes to meet. Motherfuckers don't like it when you your own nigga. In a zone full of clones, I'm alone, nigga.
I'm a businessman, I can't be fucking with you, man.
Yeah, and I ain't worried about no woman these days. I'm just focused on my daughter and the music I make. Fuck bitches, get money, I'm just trying to get paid. I'm Mr. Lone.
Either you're trying to work for me or you're trying to pay me.
Yeah,
otherwise
and I ain't worried about no woman these days. I'm just focused on my daughter and the music I make. Fuck bitches, get money, I'm just trying to get paid. I'm Mr. Lone.
Yeah, Mr. Lonely. That means I don't fuck with nobody who ain't got my money. And it's like that.
What's up, everybody? We back. This your boy DJ Rowe. And this Historical Broadcast Radio. There we go.
One second, I'm just.
What's up, everybody? We back. It's your boy DJ Rowe.
Yeah, we back. Where's Thug Nasty, man? He's supposed to be here.
There we go. Yeah, give him a minute.
Okay.
If you said something's up with his pops, man, who knows? He
did. Oh, no, that was his dad. Just didn't feel like coming on because he wasn't feeling well. But no, I talked to Thug. I talked to Thug earlier. 1 second, I'm just.
What's up, everybody? We back. It's your boy DJ Rowe.
Yeah, we back. Where's Thug Nasty, man?
Cut off the YouTube.
Supposed to be here.
There we go. And give him a minute.
Okay.
If you said something's up with his pops, man, who knows?
He did. Oh, no, that was his dad. Just didn't feel like coming on because he wasn't feeling well. But no, I talked to Thug. I talked to Thug earlier. 1 second. Yeah, we back.
Cut off the YouTube.
Oh, there he is.
Give him a minute. You said something's up with his pops.
Oh, no, that was his dad. Just didn't feel like coming on because he wasn't feeling. Oh, this was
you have your YouTube on. You got to turn off your YouTube.
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, you're listening to your YouTube.
Okay, why am I seeing like something? I'm looking at my Facebook. Oh my God. Oh, this is from. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I was. Okay, Facebook. We're back. So I just saw that DMX had 15 children. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Wow. I hope they don't all start fighting over his will.
You know, I don't know. I don't think he kept his kids in the situation with the limelight, so I think they'll be all right.
Hope so. That's the problem. That's the problem, though. You know, a lot of times when someone dies, I mean, everybody goes crazy. It's sad. Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay, so in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Prime Minister has announced a new cabinet completing a government overhaul by Tshisekedi. So, okay, so this was something we were talking about last. We haven't talked about them for a while, like a kind of power split thing. So yeah, I am a little caught up with that. Okay, Church of England, Egypt. Okay, Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe is a woman from England who's been in jail in Iran for a couple of years, and then she was under house arrest, and that was lifted, but she has another trial. So, you know, it's sad. Her husband and her daughter are demonstrating and all of that. And I don't know, man. I think I think that these countries like Iran just does that to show that they can do whatever the fuck they want, like to other countries. Like periodically, I mean, we were following Kylie Moore Gilbert, who was in jail in Iran for 3 years, and then while she was there, her husband had an affair with her colleague. So she just did an interview, and she's dumped him. I mean, and is getting her life back. So I don't know how people do that. So in Great Britain, one of the things, it's Age, man. You want to come on the show, Age?
What up, Age?
One of the things that's been happening in England is the Queen's old man died, Prince Philip. He was 99 years old. He would have turned 100 years old in 2 months. And I mean, like, man, if he was my grandpa or something, I would say he died at age 100. I mean, doesn't that just kill you? It even says 1921 to 2021. So I would just say 100. But one of the things, there's an island where that was like a former colony sort of place. I forget exactly where it is, where he's worshipped. Like really worshipped. People think that he is an incarnation of somebody from their island who is, who was like transported to become European royalty. So my dad thinks he should be buried there. But I mean, it's pretty, I don't know, man. There's like, I'm not like crazy for the monarchy like some people in the United States, but it's interesting. I mean, I guess what it just is, it's like they're an exaggerated version of how things are in the United, or it's like we all are sort of stuck with how we're born. I mean, we all like inherit stuff, good or bad, tendencies, history, heritage. So that's just what makes them interesting to me, because that is their whole life. Everything you do is going to be determined by how you were born. I think that would be horrible in some respects, but they got a pretty nice life. So yeah. So that'll be interesting. And oh my God, The Handmaid's Tale is coming back. Yay.
Anna is juiced, everybody.
I am so juiced. It was on, because remember, it comes on. It's one of the things where it's an advantage to be on the West Coast, because it's released on Wednesdays. And that means an East Coast time. So that means it's released on Tuesday nights at 9 a.m. here. So when we used to be doing the show on Tuesday nights and it would be coming on, I would be pretty happy to be getting home. So it's just the best. And it's another one where this will be the first time that it's not during the Trump administration that, so I mean, not that things aren't still like fucked up, but I don't know. It will definitely be cool, because everything that happens in The Handmaid's Tale has happened or is happening somewhere there. For example, I mean, there's now, and we've talked about Shamima Bagun, who is a woman that was born and raised in England, but she's not being allowed, then left when she was 15 and to join ISIS. But, you know, for a woman joining ISIS just means that you're donating them. That just means you're joining them to be a baby machine. It's not like you get to do anything. So she's not being allowed back. And I don't think anybody, I mean, nobody should be doomed because of things they did when they were 15. It's horrible. And she is not the only one. And so and it's against the, you know, you're not supposed, so if the British government can claim that they're dual citizens, so they cannot accept them. And it's a legal issue now too, where some of the other women who are in that situation are being like hidden, their identity. I mean, so nobody even knows, like, you know, their identities are being, you know, which I guess, I don't know. I mean, their identities shouldn't necessarily be public because they are in a lot of danger, but the right people should know. Oh, okay. Speaking of real old people, Beverly Cleary, who's a children's book author, died at age 104. Did you ever read any of her books, Roselle? She was interested. Okay, so she wrote children's books for like 50 years. And so the stories modernized as time went on. Like the character she wrote a lot about was called Ramona Quimby. And so in the first book, you know, Ramona's mom is a housewife and her dad goes to work at the electric company. And by the time, you know, that would have been published in probably the 60s or something, or 50s. And then the last Ramona books were probably written, I think, in the 90s. And Ramona's mother had a job and her dad was going to art school. But I loved those books because Ramona had a really hard time in school. And she just did not get it, and you know, wound up like staying home. And I just like that because I just felt like when I was a kid, they didn't really show kids in books having problems. And I had a really hard time in school. And you know, I had to repeat kindergarten, and I know, man. So yeah, so hopefully I can bring hope to anybody out. Okay, like if there's any like 5 or 6 year olds watching who have had to repeat kindergarten, it's like there's hope. You can grow up and have a podcast. You can there's a chance for you. So, you know, Ramona I didn't realize that I was repeating kindergarten at the time. They just, my parents managed, I don't know, convince me, say it was because like, oh, well, you're going to a different school, so you're going to do this again. And then when the school, then that school, like after third grade, like kicked me out for having learning disabilities, and somehow they managed to keep that from me too. I thought that I was just supposed to be going to another school, and I didn't want to. I liked the school. I didn't want to go to another school, but they were kind enough not to tell me that the school didn't want my ass back. So anyway, I like books about kids. I like books about kids that did bad in school. Hey, Age.
Hi guys.
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. I'm really good right now. Really, I'm really good. Thank you. Thank you. Hold a minute. Yeah, I'm good. Let me just get my audio and put my stuff together. But there was spur of the moment. I didn't expect to come through, but the invite was here. So how could I turn it down?
Always. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
family, right?
Yeah, seriously. Well, Roselle was playing music earlier, and I was just saying, like, man, I like how we have like our family is like so fucking brilliant, Okay.
You know what?
Uh.
There's Thug Nasty. Thug Nasty just walked in the building.
Talk about brilliance. How you doing?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
Thug Nasty.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
We're good, man.
Doing good. I was talking about having to repeat kindergarten and getting kicked out of third grade, and that I should be a sign of like hope for little kids out there that like, you can repeat, you can still grow up and have a podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what? Everyone has a voice, and in today's world, if you choose not to use it, it's really your prerogative. But it's really. I'm saying it's easy to be heard. I mean, it's easy to be heard, and more people should pick up the mic and speak their mind. I mean, everyone has an opinion, and put some opinions on. I mean, it is what it is. Everyone, there should be more people speaking their minds right now. I'm just fortunate to be amongst the movers and shakers like us, because we're like the ones out here doing it.
We're trying.
At least trying. Yeah, you're right.
Well, here's something to do with free speech that I brought up earlier, which was kind of interesting. A guy in Belgium was just sentenced to jail for 15 days for sending race hate messages to a Belgian TV host. She was a Black woman receiving racial abuse from people, and yeah, he got sent to fucking jail. So we were talking about that, and it's just like, okay, we need to, like, the point is, there's like, we need to like look at the effect of social and all of that. Like, okay, yeah, that is an assault. So yeah, you should not be able to, that's what I think anyway. Like, no, he did not do anything physical. He didn't attack her physically, but he attacked her with his fucking words, and there should be consequences.
And you know what? Even though in this world, I mean, that's the world we're in. Everyone can speak their mind. Everyone is, but there are repercussions.
Yeah.
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 I think in the soup, when the book is told of the duck soup and those stories, when the book is told, I mean, I think we are, at least for me, I've learned some media training from this. I've learned how to walk that tight line of not what to say, but try to say it. It's hard when you're trying to save the world. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was you or me.
That's mine. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's cool. Thank you for listening. I'm sending you a link if you want to come on and join us. Well, I mean, it's amazing. It's just like when we look at all the ways that we have to communicate and stay in touch now. So, I mean, but laws and rules and standards need to change as well. And when your words can be really dangerous. And so you need to look at it. I mean, the same way that like, back the, freedom to have a gun was based on when guns were like pop guns or whatever, not like what they are now. So, it's interesting. And then there's the question, and I go like, like there's consequences and punishments, and like it's illegal in some places to deny the Holocaust, and I don't totally agree with I mean, that to me is like, that is dumb and wrong, but I don't necessarily think you should be prosecuted for being dumb and wrong.
That's I don't know. Can you? You should. Let's look at that question right there. To be prosecuted for being dumb and wrong.
For saying dumb and wrong things.
Okay, let's look at that. Okay, let's think about that one right there. What are some of the most dumbest and wrongest things people have done or said? Okay, here's one. I've heard of cartoonists having death threats on their lives for their cartoons and comic strips, especially the political ones.
Not just death threats; they've been killed.
Yeah, they've been killed.
Charlie Hebdo. Just in case people aren't, a journal in France. People were killed.
Yeah.
And then there was for cartoons insulting the Prophet Muhammad, and then there was a guy in Holland who was killed.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Anna, thank you for helping me out on that because I didn't know the exact. I knew of the incident, but I didn't know of the reference. But thank you so much for helping me.
Of course.
That was dope.
Well, that's again. I mean, we all just fill in different pieces of knowledge. Yeah, and that was really interesting. I mean, at the time, I was going back and forth about it because there was just a part of me that was thinking like, yeah, you should be able to do these cartoons, but if that was my family member, I would probably want them to not print that cartoon and just lay low.
Media. So I don't know, because then we are censoring. I don't know. Censoring is hard.
It is.
It's just in the way the media game is. It's nothing for you to like. I don't know. Pick up a mic and do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we look at the day. Shit. We got plenty of examples right in our country. We had Trump try to convene a panel sort of to make it to like ban teaching about white supremacy, about racial biases and all that. So, that's the problem. You can be banned from talking about things that really need to be, and I think that, there's a lot of denial from people about racism and history and all of that, and that is dangerous.
Excuse me, friends. Yo, can you please give me your link? The page where cats can watch this, the address again? It's on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please send it to me because I got homies who want to peep it out.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And let's get people commenting.
Yeah.
Or like there's a guy that comes to city council meetings in Vallejo and really stirs shit up. He insults the families of people that have been killed by cops. He's racist, he's homophobic, but people say like, oh, well, they'll get in trouble if they ban him because it's free speech. I'm like, you can be banned from a place, you can't, it should be legal. It's legal for him to say what he wants, but you shouldn't be able to say things wherever you want. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, shit. Then you're going to find plenty of people. That want to censor rap. So.
I know you're absolutely right. I know that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a weird time because all this stuff keeps preluding to something bigger in the grander thing. So I don't know. It's ill, but we are doing the best we can with our media, and at least we're trying to spread the knowledge the best as we can. You know.
Yeah.
I think rap should be censored to an extent. That's just my opinion.
No, you know what? What would be dope? You know, BET should go. Remember BET Uncut, the late night? They should do that.
Oh yeah. That was just my shit.
That they should really reinstate that and then bring back the hardcore stuff for the late night. And I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, hip hop's not going nowhere. It just needs to be done correctly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be reformed.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, like, I don't have a problem with stuff being labeled so for parents to know what their kids are listening to. I mean, you know, that's like not, I mean, I remember when that was a big idea. It's like, okay, we're talking about, this is a label. It isn't like not being sold. So, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
How do we so it should be only up to the parents to restrict what material kids listen to, because kids can get to any type of material. A 12-year-old can get to any type of record now. With as much, an 8-year-old could listen to anything. Hell, my 8-year-old daughter, if she wanted to, if she's smart enough, could Google some shit or whatever, introduce some shit real easily. So I'm like, I'm into the whole, well, actually, since physicals are out the way, you don't sell physicals no more. But when CDs were still being sold, I would have been okay with the whole, you got to be 18 and over in order to buy this music.
Really?
I think music should be censored. You know, kids shouldn't be hearing all this that we're doing. I don't like kids listening to my music, but I don't make music for kids. I make my music for grown-ass adults. But the problem is with hip-hop and records, they design for the kids, for the youngsters. Hip-hop is geared towards young people. That's why when you get a certain age, they say you too old to rap, or you too old to do this, because it's gifted for the youth. The youth are easily influenced. They're like sponges. So, you know, you put a bar in the rap, next thing you know, it's the youth, everybody's doing it. And it's just it is what it is.
And it's not even just, okay, do your daughter listen to Ariana Grande?
Actually, I think so. I think she's heard Ariana Grande. She's heard that Juice WRLD guy.
Yeah.
You know, she may not know who the artist is.
Yeah.
She may not know, but she knows the song. Or she'll know the rhythm or the melody, you know. But I'm not saying she is, but I mean, with technology and the way kids are, it's very easy for youngsters to get a hold of a lot of material.
I mean, I just heard of her a couple of years ago. I mean, you know, when her concert was fucking bombed, and I just thought she was an incredible young woman. She came back and did another concert, and, you know, she's really... you know, she really promotes feminism and, you know, I mean, I would be, but then you listen, I mean, I feel happy to have a daughter of mine be looking up to her, but then it's like, I listen to the songs and I'm like,
right. Well, I think, you know, as an artist, I think an artist should be able to have a song for this that's wholesome, and maybe a song that's not so wholesome. I don't have a problem with that personally. It's just how it's distributed. So if you're gonna put shit out like that, it has to be distributed accordingly.
You know, it's so funny when you mentioned Ariana Grande. I mean, big shout out to her, because she's all the rave because of my students. That's all they talk about.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Like, man, they like Ariana Grande like I like Wu-Tang.
Well, you know,
seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, she's real. She sets, I mean, an example, you know, I mean, she says she's real pro-gay. I mean, acceptance, feminism, like I said, you know, so when, I mean, I think if kids, you know, I'm happy that kids are listening to her. I mean, you know, then I was talking with like an 11-year-old who was talking about Taylor Swift, who isn't much on my radar either, but the 11-year-old was talking about how Taylor Swift sued a radio host for grabbing her ass. And so
wait a minute, a radio host grabbed Taylor Swift's ass?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And she sued him, but she sued him for $1 because
$1?
Well, because the point was, it was for her fans. It was to set an example, and for the yeah, it's not like
wait a minute. I'm a little slow. Hold on, let me digest this. Okay.
Okay.
So, radio host grabs her ass.
Yeah.
She sues him for $1.
Yeah.
And what was the point?
For her fans. So that this little so that this 11-year-old could be talking to me about how Taylor Swift did this to set an example that nobody is allowed to touch you without your consent.
The radio host was an 11-year-old?
No, I was talking to an 11-year-old.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I just started hitting the weed. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, no need to apologize. That's
okay, but to show that nobody. Okay, and $1. Yeah. So basically, I get it now. The money had nothing to do with it. It was the principle.
Yeah.
That's why it was $1. I'm sure you'll ask for $1, but it's the point, because I don't care about monetary. It's the point. You shouldn't have touched me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no money amount that she could really benefit from. She has a gazillion $1 million. Yeah. There's no need for any financial gain from this.
Right.
Like,
right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so that's the point. That's the point she was making. And I was like, wow, man, this was like one teeny bopper girl that I happened to meet. And I was like, whoa, man, there's going to be like millions others. So that, I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
This is a very strong, rebellious generation that we have. This world is really evolving, and I think it's just getting crazier, bro. Like this, I don't want to, and I know this is your show, and I don't want to sway conversation, but
say what you want.
This whole political time with the court and this shit, it's just so much going on right now, and it's like, I don't know. I pray that things get better, but I personally am doing better in my life, and I'm doing decent. I'm trying to keep a smile on my face, but it's just, the world is just ugly out there right now.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel in a way, I don't necessarily want to start off, but I mean, there's constant images, there's constant traumatic images that people are receiving no matter what they do in the films of like the deaths, the murders being played, I mean, people are walking, I mean, that we talked a lot about mental health. I mean, people are carrying a level of trauma all the time.
It's such a crazy time right now.
Yeah.
It's like seeing those videos and just everything is just so much. So.
Yeah, it sure is. But, well, yeah.
I don't know, man. Fudge, did we just blow the tires out of this podcast?
No, man.
I'm sorry.
It's like, no, don't ever apologize. I invite people on my show because I want to hear what they have to say. And this is I used to run an open mic. I ran an open mic for a couple of years in Seattle. And a lot of people that was like the first time they'd been on an open mic, and a lot of them like kept going and developed their voice. And that was just a great feeling. I really enjoyed that. And people would say to me like, well, whose work do you like? And I would just be saying like, you are never going to hear that, because what I'm there to do is get representation. If somebody would be, and that's not there's other stuff like, if I was organizing a different sort of show, like, I'd be putting together people I thought were really good. But if there's venues where you're doing something for people to come speak out, awesome. So, okay.
Thanks, yeah.
Hey, Kristen Woods is in the building.
Hey. Kristen Woods Ponce. She's not. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. This is Age and Thug Nasty. You guys, this is Kristen.
Hi, Kristen. Hi. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hey, I like your hair, Kristen.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hi, Kristen. What's up?
Yeah. You haven't been on in a couple weeks. So yeah. We're talking a lot about free speech, and not just the a guy in Belgium was jailed for sending racially abusive messages to a Black woman on TV. So, the guy, and it's also, okay, the fact that it's in Belgium is also important because Belgium colonized the Democratic Republic of Congo and decimated it, like killed half the population. Just that whole country has PTSD basically. I mean, brutalized, enriched people from the resources, tore apart. So, the fact that it happened in Belgium is important also. Another thing we love to talk about here is statues of racists being taken down. And so, like one of the things that they've done recently in Belgium is put up a statue of Patrice Lumumba, who was a revolutionary leader of the Democratic Republic of Congo, who was then murdered by the Belgians. So yeah.
Right now, this is dope.
Yeah. So Belgium has to, they all fucking do, oh shit. Okay. Damn, I forgot. We've talked a lot about reparations. There's some reparations happening in Chicago, and there's, the Jesuits are paying reparations to the descendants of enslaved people that worked for them, that were enslaved by them. So, you can try and right wrongs. So, so yeah. Hey, Kristen, were you at the city council meeting? I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Muted.
Oh, am I?
Were you?
How you?
Yeah.
You're good now.
You're good now.
Was tonight?
Yeah. Oh, it's still going on. You can catch.
Oh yeah, they go on until like 1:30 in the morning, and that's why I can't hang. It's a lot of stuff that goes on, and like I don't know what the topic was tonight, but sometimes I just can't hang. Like I try, but
oh wait, so Thug, you grew up in Vallejo, right?
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised. Yes, ma'am.
So which schools did you go to?
Well, starting out elementary school, I went to Federal Terrace.
Yeah.
And I was there, and that's when I experienced the '89 quake. I was there when the '89 quake happened. I'll never forget. And after Federal Terrace was Vallejo Junior High. And after Vallejo Junior High, I went straight to Peoples. I never made the Vallejo High School because I was short on credit, so I went to the continuation school, Peoples High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was it as far as my school life goes. Oh, actually, I went to Vallejo Dope for a little while, and then I just eventually stopped going there. Yep.
I went to continuation school too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I can focus.
Yeah, Vallejo Dope. It was hard for me to focus on Vallejo Dope too. I noticed. But that was years ago, though. That was years ago, though. Hopefully they've upgraded it since then.
Yeah.
I went to Fremont in Oakland, but I started off in Catholic school, and I was about to get kicked out for wearing fat shoelaces in my uniform, like b-boy shoelaces.
Oh God, I bet you're so adorable.
I was a fucking rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, me seeing people get stomped out in in East Oakland. It was after school and shit. Or bullets flying and shit. It's wild, bro. Bay Area life has been crazy. Stand up Bay Area. If you survive Bay Area schools, you're a savage. Bay Area. Yeah.
Not even from the Bay Area, but I've
Where
been
you
out
from?
here for from Southern California. So I've been out here for 19 years.
Yeah.
18, 19 years. Yeah.
Man, Bay Area is a savage.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked with kids in the Bay Area because I came to the Bay Area when I was like 1991. I was really young, and I worked with youth there for years. I worked with youth there in Bayview Hunters Point and in all the in Oakland and all that. And I think about those young people a lot, like whether I'll ever come across, I mean, now I think of myself, I was like, man, I was like practically a kid too, whether I'll ever come across any of them in the Bay Area. I mean, I never have, but I think I'm just always sure I will. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how karma usually works. You're gonna bump into them eventually.
Yeah. I taught poetry and I do poetry and spoken word stuff, and it was so long ago, man. I had like a fucking tape cassette. I like bring around. I'd have them like do personal stories from Tupac, it's like Dear Mama, like go through it and
Dear Mama.
Yeah.
Dear Mama. Big shout out to DMX too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys know that? I mean, I know I mentioned it on the soup, but did you guys know DMX's death was on the birthday of Little Nas X? Little Nas X is born on the same day DMX died.
Interesting. Wow, that is interesting.
It's the changing of the X's.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. Wow, here come the conspiracy theorists. Wow, here they come.
DMX represented the light. What does Little Nas X stand for?
Probably the future of hip hop as we know it.
So how do you think how will DMX be remembered, do you think? Was he really groundbreaking, or?
For me, I think he was a hip hop spiritual counselor. He was one of hip hop's spiritual. What do you call it? Spiritual, a guidance, spiritual counselors. Yeah. He was that. You know what I'm saying? When he passed away, that touched me. See, I didn't cry when Pac died. I was disappointed, but I didn't cry when Pac died. But when DMX died, I had some issues. I had some tears hit me. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a message. He had demons he battled, and he was open against it, and he was open about his spirituality, and he prayed. He gave us prayers, like he touched hip hop differently. You know what I'm saying? So that's why his death hit different for me.
I think everyone has that one hip hopper that when they pass away, it really fucks your head up. Because when MF Doom died, boy, did that hurt me. Oh my gosh.
When was that?
That was like months ago, a couple months ago.
Okay, I think I remember you. Yeah,
but it's that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so many artists and there's so many mediums that you talked about cartoonists, you talked about television media, art, movies. I mean, it's just all art. It's all art,
Yeah.
There's so many artists,
I was sad when Jim Carroll died.
Now, see, who is that?
See, there you go. He did, that song, all the people that died.
No, I never heard of that.
Oh, see, I was like mixing it up with a friend with pouring out with the one about like pouring out the waters, like all the people that died. Yeah.
See, that's a beautiful thing that we're opposites. I mean, we just, but it's so much love. I mean, it's all love, Anna, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, me, I'm like, see, at one point I said, I was doing like, again, a spoken word thing at the community center near me. And I was like way back. And I was just telling one of the guys, it's like, I want to like culture music. I was like, I want to hear everything. I'm like, the world is mine. And he's like, have you ever seen Scarface? No, I never. No, but that's how I feel about. I mean, that's why I love learning about stuff from you about music and culture and yeah. I mean, Jim Carroll he wrote this the Downtown Diaries. He was a punk poet sort of person from the 70s and 80s. He wrote the Basketball Diaries, was one of his famous things.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to, you know, it's good to have a diverse bunch of friends and people to learn from.
Oh, definitely. Because, you know, I mean, shit, like I was saying, I mean, you know, I was kicked out of school after third grade. I dropped out of high school. I mean, if I didn't learn from people around me, I'd be fucked.
Takes a village.
Exactly. What were you about to say, Age?
When you talk about school, have you heard about the initiative to get more colored teachers involved? Did you guys hear about that? That's going on in the Bay Area. It's like a program trying to generate more teachers of color, just any more color, like just more color. And yeah, it's just it's an initiative to try to get more teachers of color in the schools. We need that. That's really cool. I mean, I think that's cool, but what does that say?
Well, I just know it's so huge for kids. And I mean, I know like I remember because I worked with kids for a long time. And so for me, it was one of the most revelatory things, you know, when I was like in my early 20s with understanding the depth of like racism and white supremacy. Because I was like, these are little kids and they don't trust me. And I was like, there's like a teacher, counselor, sort of what? And I'm like, whoa, I'm like supposed to be caring and guiding and they don't trust
me. They just don't trust you.
Yeah. And so, you know, you're always going to try and do, but you know, yeah, it was just like, what was your experience? You know, anybody want to talk about their experiences growing up with like having teachers of color? Like, I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I mean, did you guys have teachers of color when you guys was in elementary or high school?
My first grade teacher used to pop us on the hand with a ruler. Now, see, back then it was okay, but at some point that became bad. But yeah, she used to pop us on our hands with a ruler if we, you know, did something wrong or messed up or something. You know, yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah,
she stopped doing that though.
I got that pop on the ruler too, though, once.
Pop, you know. My mom, you know another thing, my mom, she was a teacher's assistant. My mom worked with the school district. So
okay.
I think a few teachers had permission to pop me on my hand. I was playing. Yeah, but that was my experience. My mom wasn't the teacher. My mom worked for the Vallejo Unified School District. Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else got teachers of color? What's up? What's up, bro? Chris, what's up?
Yeah, I did. Around 6th grade, we brought in I don't know if he was considered a teacher. I guess he came in and was teaching for a day, but he wasn't an actual teacher.
He's a sub or something?
No, he came in for like Black History Month.
Oh my God.
This is back when it got popping.
Like a presentator.
He wasn't a normal teacher though. Like
he's like
teacher.
Like did a presentation or something. Yeah.
He did a whole class. They let him do the class for the whole day, but he wasn't like a real teacher. It was more like a Black History Month thing.
Wow.
Ooh,
Yeah,
can I
Hakeem said it was like a day that, like, yeah, there was Black History Day.
I had in high school I had an English teacher and 2 math teachers and I mean, they weren't the nicest teachers, but you know, I had them and I had that experience with them, but it would have been nice to have like a more positive experience than what I had. But
that's what's up.
You know.
Were they really strict?
Yeah, really strict. And kind of like uncle, auntie mentality, like, you know, old school, like real old school. And
basically they gave you like that tough love mentality, huh?
But it wasn't tough love because they weren't teaching us anything. I could see like tough love when you're teaching, you know, but it wasn't tough love. It was just like tough, you know, it was just, you know. I don't think they, you know, had their heart into it, but it was a lot of teachers that I don't think they had their hearts in teaching, you know. There's a lot of teachers out there like that just, you know, it was a job and it wasn't something that they were really passionate about, but it was just something that, you know, they got into.
Yeah.
Well, I got a story about teachers, which is just, I was at a friend's baby shower, my real extended family, and I was talking with one of the grandpas, who was like in his 70s or something, and he was talking about, the family's Latino, about going to school and not being allowed to speak Spanish and how the teachers were racist and this whole thing. And I said, were any of the teachers ever nice to you? And he said, without missing a beat, he said, my 4th grade teacher. So I'm like, 60 years later, the guy immediately, so that to me just says everything about the impact that a teacher has. I mean, it's amazing.
I the only teacher that I really remember having a positive experience with was actually, it was like it was my psychology teacher in high school, and he was he actually suspended me. But you know, like before that I had a positive, but that's the only teacher that I like felt like I had an impact on me. But aside from that, the other ones I can't remember any of their names. If you ask me like any of their, I don't remember any of their names from school.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That's a lot too. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Mims. He was a teacher at People's High School. I know a lot of Vallejo, so a lot of people in Vallejo know Mr. Mims. He was a history teacher, and he was a very influential history teacher. And he had this saying: if you were wrong or you were in the wrong, you were a criminal. You are a criminal. Like, if you were doing something, you up to some mischief, or you got caught doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing, you are a criminal. Shout out to Mr. Mills. I don't know if he's still kicking or not. That's a blessing if he is, but shout out to him. Yeah, Mr. Mills. He was dope.
Yeah. I remember a couple good teachers I had too. I mean, Jesus. I know
I'm sorry. My art teacher, Mr. Chan, was the one who encouraged me to start drawing comics and whatnot. So he was my favorite art teacher. Mr. Chan, what up? That was my guy. He was dope.
Yeah.
Ro?
Yeah, Ro?
Oh.
Your favorite teacher, Ro? Would be Marie Lane?
Yeah, I don't No, man. My teachers was kind of. I don't know, man.
You think about it. Hold up, my teachers were pretty fucked up. Hold up, what up? You never think about it. That was fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My teachers was kind of. I know in elementary school they was mean because I went to a Baptist school because they used to do the paddle thing. They was kind of weird.
You had the paddle.
I got the hand.
Yeah, I think I'm better off with the ruler. Yeah, I prefer the ruler.
Yeah, we had the paddle with the holes in it. And so,
What?
Yeah, the long story,
Yeah, so
man.
that way, when they swung, they got more aerodynamics.
Exactly.
The winds traveled through the paddle.
It was
So
crazy.
they got more of a pop, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, did you go to Catholic school, bro?
Yes, sir. That's where I graduated from.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
I went to Salesian.
Salesian. Oh wow. I went to St. Anthony's and then got kicked out of St. Liz by 10th grade.
Godly. What'd you get kicked out for?
You know, it wasn't like they didn't really kick me out. They were like, we're about to kick you out. If you walk away now, you should just walk away. Because they were like, you should walk away now before we kick you out. So I was just like, fuck yeah, I'm out. So it's whatever.
Age.
I got a question for everybody. If I can shoot, my bad, if it's okay.
Yeah, no, please.
Because we're talking about teachers and teaching, good teachers. And I think age could be a good answer to this one. You know, we're all at the age of being teachers. Well, I know a lot of us have young people in our lives that look up to us, that come to us for advice. I know we mentor the people. How many of us, me included, because I feel like may have a gift or have a passion or will want to teach in whatever field or feel like to give back to the world. Their purpose in life is to give back by teaching young people or giving someone a fish, as they would say in the Bible. Starting with anybody who wants to take it up. Because I definitely feel like I have a calling to touch people with my music, my art, and have a message in some type of way. Or when young people come around me, to give them some type of seed. Because, I just don't feel right as an adult or as a father, being a father, not to do so. And that's just my input on it.
Yeah.
As far as teaching goes. You know what I'm saying? Because we were those young people, and now we are those teachers. Anybody?
Man, I'll just say that I know as I'm man, please, I'm an older gentleman. I am fortunate to be at my age, but I also know that at my age, it is a certain responsibility, but for the way I carry myself. So everyone doesn't have that self-awareness or self-responsibility, but, I try. I mean, I'm not going to say, but then on the same note, don't hold me accountable when I flip out and start whining because I'm only human too, though. So it's like you want to be a teacher, but you can't. You're not a savior. You're just trying to be
those are two different things. Teaching is just giving the knowledge. Being a savior is save somebody or salvation. I'm knowledge.
I'm thinking like this. I want to give knowledge, but then there's moments when I'm going to be in my really not in a knowledgeable space. But I just want, I get the times I don't want to be a teacher. So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
But I think all of us are teachers in a way for even doing this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was like, when I was young, I was a residential counselor with young people, and then I taught, and it absolutely fucking ate me up and spit me out. And I try and look out as a young adult. The people I worked with treated me like shit. And I was like raised to not complain. I never looked at it that way. But I would get targeted a lot by kids because I was awkward. And a lot of places I worked at, they were like, oh, cool, somebody's the scapegoat. And I think about it now, and I would be like, man, if one person had ever like told some of these kids, like, don't talk to her. So, it was, but I mean, hard things are good and good things are hard. And so, I mean, I am a lot stronger because of going through all that. And that's partially why I like don't give a shit. I mean, people can, I will like, I'm ready to do whatever I want and whatever I can do. But now what I do with the programs I do with the public history thing is more oriented toward educating adults, because that's what I am now. I mean, I'm a middle-aged person, and you need to keep learning. So now, I mean, that's partially why I offer support to young adults that are teaching kids for some of what I know. But I'm like, now I just feel like, there's other people that can relate to kids more than me, and that I just try and set an example of learning as an adult. You need to, I want to be learning to that's one reason I have this podcast, is because I can means I like try and research every week so that I have new stuff to talk about.
But kids are adults. They're just smaller, like there's certain things that they can't, you can't object them to right now, but at the same time, I've never talked to my kids like, oh, like just like baby talk. I talk to them like they're adults most of the time, because that's where I'm raising a person that's going to be an adult. When it comes to like teaching, I think everyone has the capacity to teach, but not everyone knows that they have that. But and then not everyone knows how to accept that information that you give them. So like for me, what I've learned is that from experience, that I know that I can teach people about from experience what I've been through or whatever, but I know that they're just going to one ear out the other. So I've just learned to be a listener. And so I'll just listen to what people have to say. And that's a lot of times what people need too, is just someone to listen to them and then get it out. And then once it comes out, then they're like, oh, then they learn, like they figure something else out in their mind that they hadn't thought of before, because they were able to talk it out.
Yeah, definitely. And,
definitely agree.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope that, it's something I try and work on to get more young adults and teachers at some of my programs so that they can share their knowledge with their classrooms. So, yeah. What
program? You said at your programs?
Oh yeah, man. How come remember the Bayard Rustin Symposium that I just did? Oh, you must have, man, see what I do public history events. I just did the Bayard Rustin Symposium, which explores the legacy of Bayard Rustin. I've screened films about Ralph Bunche, the scholar and diplomat. Yeah, so we got to get you at the next.
I didn't have a chance to look into it. I saw that you were sharing, but
yeah,
a lot of stuff with work and everything.
Oh, absolutely. And it was on Zoom. And so, a lot of people were just not wanting to just spend another day on Zoom. And I was like, I completely understand. So yeah, I'm planning something else now that's coming together. Not with like you guys here. I've learned my fucking lesson about my intellectual property. So I'm keeping it under wraps a little bit more until it's firmed up. But yeah, that'll be like some films and discussion. And yeah. Ro has been, Ro helped me with the symposium. So yeah.
Anna, thank you for having me for a guest, but I gotta really get up out of here. Thank you so much. And if I could just plug my little plug real quick, H got a Facebook and Adrian H got an Instagram, and please check out the T for Love project. Me and my dude Christ One are recording my homegirl T for Love. It's on YouTube, TIFALOVE, one word, T for Love. Check it out. Love you, Anna.
Love you, man.
Bro, it's all good, and it was nice meeting you, Chris.
Right on, Age.
Hey, peace.
Yeah. Hey, so Kristen, you got to meet more of the rest of the family. They do
You met the crew.
The crew. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they like somewhat regulars? They come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they do a rap podcast, the Duck Soup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're like our brother sister show. Yeah. Ro is the DJ for them. And okay,
I know I subscribe to Duck Soup too, but I got to figure this out. My son's phone we have the same Apple ID account, and so everything that he said, which is like everything, he subscribes to everything, and so like it gets mixed up with the things that I subscribe. So every 100 things that he subscribes to, I have one thing that's in there, and it just gets all mixed up. So I just keep getting updates up after updates, and I don't get the updates for my things, just for his things. And he's sitting here like,
Hi, Kristen's son.
He's over here playing.
My Minecraft.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up, dude?
Nice to meet you.
How's it going?
It's about bedtime.
No.
Yes, it is. You got 10 more minutes.
No, I need
11 minutes.
Let me get to the end quickly.
Yeah. So, then Roselle has another show on Thursdays.
Actually, every other Thursday, which
Every
will
other
be
Thursday.
next Thursday.
Yeah.
Sure, you can know better, do better.
Yeah.
Know
So
better, do better. And then Duck Soup.
that's
Her
another
show is a little bit different. Hers is more of an empowerment show. You'd have to come check it out, Kristen. You got to come in. and check it out.
So that's your show, Anna?
No, this is my show, and Trika is Know Better, Do Better, and Duck Soup is Age, and Spider, who I think you met, and Thug Nasty, and Ro is the DJ for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's Shantae, and yeah, see, and it all, one of these days, it all used to happen at a physical location. So
Yeah. We're going to have to do that again when it gets back to like full-fledged, normal, if it ever get there. We got to do it.
Have either one of you been immunized yet?
I have.
Yep.
You both have?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, not yet. Your face.
Well,
No,
it's opening up more and more, Oh, yeah. But the thing is, we've been like with Zoom, we're able to have all these guests. So I don't, we used to only be able to have guests that could come over to the spot. So, I mean, there's definitely some of it that I want to continue because.
Yeah, I'd rather continue. Yeah, I'd rather continue Zoom, but maybe once if we, once in a while, just to bring it back to old school.
Yeah.
Do a show at one spot, just to do it. But yeah, I like it like this better. We can get more people that want to join in this way. It's easier.
Yeah, because it was real. I mean, we didn't do this. Well, that's partially why, actually that's this show used to be once a month and then it was every other week. And now it's that's partially if we were still, I wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't be any point in doing the show every week for 2 hours without being able to have guests. I mean, that's too much. So yeah, I've only had a couple guests before. There was just a couple people that could come over to the place where it was, to the apartment. So yeah. I mean, but Duck Soup was like a party though. People was different.
What would go down? Would you just hang out, listen to music?
Yeah, we would do kind of the same type of show. But see, Duck Soup used to be cool because we'd have all kind of artists come through.
Yeah.
And so they'd come through with their entourages. So we'd get different groups of people. And I mean, one time we had see, my apartment isn't that big. We had 20 or 30 people. I don't think Anna was here that day. Were you here that day?
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, we had one day. It was just crazy in here.
Crowded. Yeah. Yeah, but it was fun. It was I think it was just one person that was recording, but he brought his entire group of friends.
Oh, those were the days.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah. Because people will come through to present their music, but I mean, people aren't so likely to come in just to talk. So yeah, my show's pretty good on Zoom. But especially now that I have the tripod, that makes a big difference.
I'm glad that's working out for you.
Yeah.
I wasn't using it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Not bad.
Yep. Oh, we can't hear you, Kristen.
Oh no, that was Joseph that said that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is he going to be going back to school soon?
He started yesterday. Was his first day back. He was super excited. He actually was all dressed.
Can't hear you, Kristen.
He was all dressed, ready to go, had his backpack on for an hour, maybe longer. He just couldn't wait to go see his friends.
Oh, that is so cool.
I hurt my neck trying to put all my books in my backpack, and when I done that, I just took them all out because I didn't know I had to bring them or not.
Yeah, he put all of his books in his backpack, and he thought he was supposed to take all of them there, and he said he hurt his neck.
Oh, wow.
They just had to take their laptop. That was it.
Yeah.
Hey, Kristen, isn't it kind of weird knowing you have a kid that wants to hurry up and get to school rather than them not wanting to go?
I have a picture of him when he's just from 2-3 years ago. He just has this look on his face I'm not ready for summer to be over. And now he just can't wait to be there, but they're only there for 2 hours.
Oh, I remember you were talking about that. That is crazy.
I can't wait.
And not even distance learning. It's just 2 hours in class. And then Wednesdays they have distance learning, but Monday, or all the other days it's 2 hours. That's it.
That's just my God, if a parent, you take your kid to school and then what can you even do with the time? Wow.
Yeah, from 10:15 to 12:15. And luckily the bus is picking them up and dropping them off. So it gives us a little bit of time to do, have time to get something done. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know.
Well, hopefully it'll start. Hopefully it will be increasing somewhat.
I think after summer, when fall opens up, they'll have more kids because you have what, 8 kids in your class?
9.
9?
No,
9 kids?
8 because especially me.
Oh, 9 kids altogether in his class for in person. So going from like 30 to 9.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so did like different groups of 9 kids go all day, or?
So what they do is from 8 to, I think it's 8:15 to 10:15. The kids that have the parents that chose their kids to stay at home and do distance learning, that's their time slot.
Oh, okay.
So the teacher teaches them during that time, and then from 10:15 to 12:15, then it's for the kids that come inside, in the class, and that's their time slot to teach them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesdays is everybody gets distance learning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, parents, teachers, y'all have my sincere regard, okay? Because what a challenge it's been. So I think we're about ready to start winding down. Anybody, Kristen, you got anything to promote?
I wish.
Yeah, I know, me too. I have stuff like under the, I was talking with the vet yesterday about, I called the mobile vet came over. I had a stray cat coming around. So they came over to work on him. I got him. I was like, he was getting like more and more friendly slowly. So it's like, he came to the door and I like grabbed him by the scruff and pulled it. So they came over. But yeah, they're talking about setting up a clinic, and I was, a once a week, like spay neuter clinic. So I was going like, yeah, I would love to help with that. So the possibility. Yeah.
So there's a mobile clinic for stray animals.
Oh, well, they're a mobile vet and they came over to work on this stray. So they're a mobile vet. They're not, they've come over to do other stuff for my cat. So yeah, they just have
your cat, or for like, they do things for stray cats too?
Both. Yeah. I met them when there was a stray cat that was coming into my house for months that was just getting sicker. And he finally got like too sick to run away. So I was trying to find a mobile vet because he was too wild. I would have like put him in a carrier and taken him to a vet to be put down, but he was too wild. But so they came over and put him to sleep, and which was really nice because it was just and then so I've had them come over and do procedures for my cat. So this stray was so they came over to work on him. So yeah, and then with the first cat that was dying, basically they didn't even charge me for that, and then they hardly charged me anything for this guy. So yeah, they're awesome. Oh, hey, there you are. Yeah.
Hey, my apologies. I had to take a business call, but I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. That would have been civilized.
Yeah. So yeah, well, thanks for coming on. Kristen, do you have pets? Okay. So yeah, we're just okay. So do you want to shout out your information?
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? ThugNastyMusic.com. I'm on Spotify. Thug Nasty on Spotify. I dropped my new album on 420 at 4:20 a.m.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yep, it's called One Tail Passer. It's an EP.
Okay.
Thug Nasty.
Okay. So is that gonna be something happening online? Or just
I thought about leaking it and just doing a podcast and just playing it live. I thought about it before. So I'm so anxious for it to come out. Yeah, I was just gonna play it, do a live and just play it, stream it, We'll see.
I might wake up for that. I'm not.
Oh, I love you, no shit.
I love you. So, okay, everybody. This is Global History Radio. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Hey, Thug, I'm gonna call you in a minute, dude.
Yes, sir. I'll be up.
All right, dude.
Okay.
Late.
Night, everybody.
Be blessed.